The world of work. You know how important human resources are to our economy. The production of goods and services could not be accomplished without the millions of people in the world of work. The work that each individual does is important. Let me give you some examples. Ted Mitchell works as a salesperson in a large shopping center. He helps provide an important service to people who buy things from the store and where he works. Betty Bond works in a pottery shop making vases and bowls. She is providing goods that many people desire. Ted and Betty both got started on their careers by taking courses in high school that would help them prepare for the work they would later do. It might seem as though it is too early for you to begin planning for the work you would do in your future. Many people in the world of work, however, have found that early career planning has helped them get into the right careers. Learning about our workforce, the kinds of jobs that are available, and sources of information about careers will help you in your career planning. Now let's talk about industry groups. Our workforce is made up of men and women working on different jobs. The workforce is a total of all persons 16 years of age and older who are either employed or who are seeking employment. When you seek your first full-time job, you will become part of the workforce. There are over 100 million persons working in the workforce. The jobs that all workers hold are found in 9 groups of businesses. These groups are called industries, and in thinking of jobs that may be of interest to you, it is helpful to know something about the industries and where jobs are found. Let us have a look at this graph. Our workforce has grown steadily over the past 20 years and will continue to increase as men and women seek employment. The 1985 bar shows the projected growth for that year. Each of the 9 industries is primarily concerned with the providing of either goods or services. 4 of the industries mainly produce goods, and 5 of the industries mainly produce services. Most of the people in the nation's workforce are employed by industry providing services. Some examples of services include education, healthcare, government, transportation, banking, and insurance. Those industries which produce goods, such as raising crops, building homes, manufacturing equipment, require less than 1/2 the workforce. So you see, more jobs will become available in the service-producing industries rather than in the good-producing industries throughout the next decade. This will be true in part because more people are moving to the cities and demanding increasing amounts of city services. Also, our rising income and living standards increase the demand for city services, such as healthcare, police, and fire protection. Service industry businesses which have good job growth are retail stores, shopping centers, wholesale companies. Good jobs will also be available in banks, insurance companies, truck companies, telephone companies, and government offices.
On the other hand, goods-producing industries will not have as many jobs available as will service industries, but still will offer some good career opportunities for many people. Mining companies, especially those dealing in coal and oil, appear to have a bright future. Automobile manufacturers, clothing firms, highway builders, and medical supply companies are among those businesses which also will require many new employees. Within each of the industry groups, workers are employed in a variety of jobs. These jobs are divided into categories based on the kind of work that is done. In addition to considering types of businesses or industries in which you may like to work, it is important for you to consider the kind of work you would like to do. The 2 largest categories of workers are blue-collar and white-collar. Blue-collar workers tend to do work that requires physical skills and the operation of equipment. These workers are important to our economy because they produce and service goods that we need. Blue-collar workers build houses, work on assembly lines, repair TV sets and highways, and produce many other goods and services. White-collar workers do work that emphasizes mental skill and the ability to deal with people. This group includes salespersons, secretaries, business managers, teachers, lawyers, and accountants. Over 1/2 of our workforce is employed in white-collar jobs. Several groups of workers within the white-collar category are of special interest to business students. These groups are clerical workers, sales workers, professional and technical workers, and managers and administrators. You will find your specific interest to be within one of these groups. Each group requires different kinds of skills, abilities, and education. Examples of clerical workers include secretaries, typists, accounting workers, cashiers, and receptionists. These workers do a variety of work within an office. You will find that a high school diploma and some special training, such as shorthand and typewriting, are required for most clerical work. Sales workers include salesperson in retail stores, insurance agents, real estate brokers, and warehouse workers. Some training beyond your high school education will usually be required if you decide to join in this group. Examples of professional and technical workers include accountants, bank loan officers, teachers, airline pilots, lawyers, and engineers. You will need a college education, such as in accounting and finance, to get one of these jobs. Managers and administrators include sales managers, store managers, school administrators, and executives of corporations. Both education and experience are important in these jobs.
Let's take a look at the future need for workers, and in looking ahead to your future work life, you may want to consider those jobs which will likely be in greatest demand. Predicting the future of any job or career area, however, is quite difficult. Nevertheless, there are some things which have an effect on the future demand for workers. Naturally, the way a business is expected to grow affects the demand for certain types of workers. For example, it is expected that banks and loan companies will grow in the next 10 years as people save and borrow more money. You can be sure that those businesses will need more workers. Retail trade is expected to continue to increase. As consumers want more goods and services, so more workers will be needed in that area too. Another thing that affects the future demand for workers is turnover. Turnover is the number of jobs that have to be filled because people leave their jobs. One reason for leaving a job may be promotion to a higher level job. Other reasons include moving to another city, retirement, or dismissal. Whatever the reason, the turnover rate in a given job area has an important effect on the future demand for workers in that area. New technology also influences the need for workers. As businesses use more and more equipment and electronic devices to produce goods, services, and information, fewer workers are needed to do certain kinds of work. The use of computers in business is an example of how modern technology affects workers. A business which once employed several clerk typists to type statements showing how much customers owed today uses a high-speed computer to print these statements in only a few minutes. New kinds of workers are now needed by that company, however, to operate the computers and to work with the information that the computers produce. This graph shows job openings that are determined by replacement plus growth. You see the categories of workers which will likely have the greatest number of job openings in the 1980s. You can see the demand for white-collar workers in general will have the greatest demand for future growth. This growth will largely be due to the trend among consumers to demand more services that are provided by white-collar workers. Workforce information is available for you regarding all the workers in our nation. The United States government, through the Bureau of Labor Statistics, gathers and analyzes information about the workforce. Many businesses print booklets which tell about careers in their industry. In addition, there are career magazines and books that can provide you with information to help you explore careers. The division of the Department of Labor which provides most of the information useful in career planning is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. As you look for more information about jobs and the workforce, you will find information from this source to be quite helpful and available in most libraries. Two of the Bureau of Labor Statistics publications which are useful in career planning are the Occupational Outlook Handbook and the Occupational Outlook Quarterly. The handbook is published each year and has up-to-date information for you. It tells about changes taking place in the world of work and discusses careers that seem to have good futures. The 9 industries and the worker categories are used in the handbook, and a lot of helpful charts and graphs are shown. This handbook is written for use by students who are doing some serious career planning. The Occupational Outlook Quarterly is published 4 times a year. The Quarterly is a magazine that tells about changes taking place in various occupations. It also gives helpful hints about planning for careers. It is a source of information that can be useful to you as you look for additional information to help you in your own career planning.